Hi everyone, this is analysis of the marketing channel issues of Myer store presented by Branislav and me, Anthony. First, let's talk about the background. Myer was an Australian department store founded in 19,000. Its current headquarters is in Melbourne. It operates in 60 stores across Australia. It employs over 14,000 people directly. Coles and Myer merger in 1985 was the largest deal of its kind in Australian corporate history. It floated on the Australian Security Exchange in 2009. New Myer brand equilibration launched in 2015 and its new online platform introduced in 2018 to severe commitment to omnichannel retailing. First off, let's talk about pestle analysis. Firstly, let's talk about political and legal issues. Australian retailers must operate in compliance with all Australian consumer law, inclusive of Australian Competition and Consumer Commission rulings. Myer must also adhere to the appropriate Australian GST law on imported luxury goods, together with complying with intensity and OHS regulation associated with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The Australian federal government has also placed a ban on foreign nationals entering Australia, while subsequently covering employee wages via the JobKeeper stimulus. For the economics, Australia has entered its first recession in close to 30 years, largely due to the COVID pandemic. Reduction to consumer confidence and disposable household income are to be expected for the foreseeable future, especially once the government stimulus was waning back in early 2021. Irrespective of the current recession, wage growth has been slow in Australia for several years, reducing consumer confidence in the economy. Next is social. Department store becoming less of a popular worldwide, particularly among youngster consumers who are opting to shop online. Fashion retailers subject to constant trend fluctuation. Fast fashion retailers such as Zara and Uniqlo are growing in popularity. Next is technological. Improvement to technology are making online shopping a more streamlined process than ever before. The rise of e-commerce has seen eBay and Amazon substantially grow their market share. My website and online presence potentially outdated compared to other competitor offering. Environmental. Since 2019, all Australian states, excluding New South Wales, has enforced ban on single-use plastic bag. Consumer goods are expected to be sold environmentally friendly packaging as a norm. Pollution associated with the transportation of products and store operation has been criticized by environmental groups. Next is target market dimension. First off, let's talk about market geography. Myer is an Australian-based upmarket retailer that operates in 60 stores across Australia. Most of these stores are located on the Australian east coast, and this is the most densely populated area of the country. But about the market size, Australia's current population is roughly around 35 million people. Myer has an estimate of 60% of department store market share in Australia. For comparison, the largest direct competitor, David Jones, only have 11% of its market share. Next is about market density. Market density is quite high, particularly on the Australian east coast where most of Myer bricks and mortar stores are located. This allowed Myer to achieve a high level of consumer access at a relatively low price. High foot traffic within shopping center increased the likelihood of impulse purchase, while the proximity of Myer warehouse to store and consumer home facilitate quick and streamlined delivery of online and click and collect order. Next, let's talk about market behavior. When the market buy. Consumers typically purchase items throughout the year, with sales and promotion targeting the Christmas holiday and the financial year's period, and some mid-season sale in autumn and spring. Consumer can shop with Myer either throughout their online platform or over 60 bricks and mortar store located throughout Australia. Most of Myer sales remain via their bricks and mortar store, which are typically located within large shopping center. However, the online sales slowly increase over year on year. Given my price point on upmarket positioning, consumer will expect a higher service level, particularly when shopping in store. Purchases are a combination of plan and impulse, with the recent implementation of omnichannel allowing consumer to make online and offline comparison prior to making purchase. My product dependent on department are available and suitable for all demographics, example for children's wear, women's wear, and homeware. Although with younger consumer who switching to online shopping, the majority of my consumer are middle age or older and typically middle class. A combination of changing social preference among Australian and tourism, particularly from China and Southeast Asia, has also fueled luxury goods sales in Australia over the last decade. This is the graph showing the luxury retailing increase over the year. Next, let's talk about the channel structure. In 2015, as a part of a $600 million company-wide transformation called New Myer, $100 million was invested in establishing an omni-channel which would see Myer bricks and mortar store fully integrated with online channel. Currently, Myers owns only a limited number of in-house brands such as Black Apparel and Vio Homeware. Thus, Myer depends on external manufacture for most of the goods at its store. Myer purchases its product as a wholesale price for the various departments from the likes of LG, Tommy Hilfiger, and Channel, for example. These products are then made available via both of its online store and through its 60 bricks and mortar department store. Prices vary between online and bricks and mortar store. Customer purchasing online have the option of having the products delivered to the home via Myer's logistics partner, Australia Post, for a fee, or they can pick up for the purchase from any Myer store for the free of charge via click and collect. All purchases are also covered by the Myer One reward program, regardless of whether something is purchased online or in store. Depending on the customer loyalty tier, they receive a quick gift card, which are again redeemable on both online and in-store person at any Myer store. Next is the statement of problems. Myer positioning strategy remain unclear and increasingly congested market. And the second statement is 5 years after introduction of the new Myer integration plan, my omnichannel is still underperforming. 20 years ago, my positioning was strategy in Australia was well defined with the company having a clear target market. The brand widely appealed to the Australian middle class and played a crucial role in allowing Australian consumer to purchase Frisian luxury brand, which at the time was not easy to obtain within the Australian market. Its real direct competitor at the time was David John, and e-commerce has not been yet become a mainstay of the retail industry. My customer service was of a high standard. It provided Australian consumer with a practical location where they could purchase everything for children apparel or through household electronic. The lack of overall competition at the time meant that Myer and David John could get away with not innovating their products and service offering. Since the turn of the century, however, the Australian retail sector has grown increasingly saturated as more Russian brand has entered the market. Myer is now facing significant competition across all departments. Its upmarket reputation has also faded as its brick and mortar store has aged, its customer service standards has dipped, and its online channel is thus far proven incapable of competing with other brand offering. From a positioning standpoint, Myer finds itself stuck between the cheaper fashion retailer like Uniqlo, Zara, and H&M and the high-end luxury brand like Louis Vuitton, Sephora, and whom substantially expanded Australia in recent years. My role in Topshop proved to be a disaster as the fast fashion retailer went into administration in 2017. Subsequently, Myer has tried to appeal to younger and more discount-driven consumer via its in-house brand Black and through clearance level with its department store. However, the Black brand has overall underperformed, and Myer clearance sales has been criticized for cheapening the image of the store. At the other end of the market, Maya has not been able to capitalize on the popularity of the higher brand such as Louis Vuitton. Such brand had decided to go for most part sell their products exclusively through their own channel. Men's Myer brand, such as Tommy Hilfiger and Ralph Lauren, are also widely available throughout multiple competitor whom in the most case can undercut Myer on price. The arrival of Sephora on Australia in 2014 also hit Myer beauty and fashion department. Hard as the French retailer and renowned customer service and efficient omnichannel system has made a more appealing destination for Australian consumer. Online-only retailers such as Kogan and Temple Webster has also hit Myer homeware and electronic departments, hard as both brands can easily beat Myer on price as they do not have the overhead associated with running a bricks and mortar store. Despite of throwing $100 million as a click and collect business as part of the new Myer omnichannel revamp, critics have labeled initiative and failure thus far. The need of a strong omnichannel and online presence has been compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic, as retailers such as Kogan has thrived. At the same time, despite increasing online sales, Myer posted a $172 million loss for the 2019-2020 financial year. If Myer is to survive in a post-COVID-19 Australian retail market, it will have to establish a clear market position as recent efforts have fallen short. It will also have to ensure that its online platform is better integrated with its online store experience. The stark of reality for the Australian retailer is that the key selling point from 20 years ago are no longer relevant, and is to survive, Myer will need to streamline its channels and identify a clear target market moving forward. The solution to the problem? Uh, Product positioning will play essential roles in ensuring Myer can turn itself figure around in the coming years. At present, Myer is trying to cater a variety of consumer with a suitable offering for financially conscious consumer via clearance sale levels within its store, while also offering premium brands across apparel, beauty, electronic, and homeware department. Trying to appease everyone has not worked, as the brand has ethos becoming confusing in the eyes of Australian consumer. To ensure Myer can return to its upper market, the brand should ditch its emphasis on clearance sales as prioritize on high-end products at a premium price point. By removing a lower price product line and expanding a higher price product line within their product mix, Myer can adequately meet the needs of the upmarket consumer by implementing a trade-up strategy. By revamping its aging bricks and mortar store and focusing on a premium product, Myer can begin to rebuild its market share amongst the middle class Australian. Implementing such a strategy during a recession may appear risky at the moment. However, middle of and upper class Australians are less likely to feel the full financial implication of a recession. Taking Harris Scafe as an example, the department store has entered voluntary administration in 2019, even before the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent economic crisis. Remembering that Harvest Cafe is a position as a lower market department store than Myer, its financial trouble indicate that there's a lack of demand for cheaper products offering via department store in Australia. During the last financial year, reported of luxury goods sale in Australia remained steady, largely due to economic stimulus from the government, with the sector expected to boom again when international travel is reopened in 2021. As a higher price point can be justified from a positioning standpoint, assuming the customer experience in store is good enough. Despite the rise of online shopping, many customers still like to try before they buy, and this facilitates ongoing for the needs of Myer bricks and mortar store. By positioning itself as a more exclusive upmarket retailer, Myer can tease a strong customer experience focused on overall loyalty. Myer can successfully execute a modernization of its store together with a continuous improvement of salespeople, customer service. The retailer should be able to entice new manufacturing partnership to reinforce expansion and unknown market sale channels. A combination of product differentiation, appropriate product line expansion, and some product line contraction will work hand in hand with Myer attempt to establish a clear marketing positioning strategy. Using the 2019-2020 financial year, Myer sales at PUD and homeware has increased by 218% and 170% respectively. At the same time, women's wear and electronic goods sell drops. Myer should look expand its thriving partnership with French domestic company Mega by increasing its product breadth while simultaneously expanding the floor space and provide to the brand as beauty continue to be one of Myer's best performing channel. Subsequently, a similar approach to be taken with homeware where partnership with popular brands such as Sheridan and Maxwell and Williams. By focusing on channels that are performing, Myer can limit operating costs associated with those that are underperforming. In terms of electronic, Myer could partner with select a few brands such as LG. They would allow them to stock only premium brand in line with the upmarket positioning while simultaneously freeing up the store space for better performing department. A potential flaw in this plan would be that Myer could, for example, invest in heavy in homeware only to sell fall after COVID-19 as people begin to spending less time in home. However, given the Myer present financial predicament, it must ensure that it's maximizing its best performing departments in the short term so that it can survive long enough to start thinking for a longer term. From a differentiation perspective, modern store layout, exclusive brand with strong customer service will make customers seek out Myer once again. Online retailers such as Temple and Webster may be able to undercut Myer on the price. However, homeware customers will typically want to view a product in person before buying them. Furthermore, to build an additional differentiation from the competitors, Myer could partner with brand and sell Myer exclusive in a model similar to the one implemented by Sephora and JD support. Hypothetically, by establishing an exclusive deal, Myer could become the only retailer in Australia to sell a particular range of items from a particular manufacturer. Assuming an appropriate incentive in place, Myer could sell a limited number of Fred Perry polos in the color range, exclusive to Myer. Customers wanting to this product to have no choice but to shop in with Myer, thereby bolstering Myer sales from throughout the online and in-store channel. Improving Myer omnichannel structure will ensure that the synergy between its online platform, Myer Online One loyalty program, and in-store experience can be achieved. Myer's success will be hinged on its ability to remain competitive on both online and bricks and mortar sales. French domestic retailer Sephora has been widely credited for implementing one of the most extensive and integrated omnichannel in the world. And should Myer want to be in a position to compete with Sephora, he will have to make a similar stride. The biggest drawback to investing in an online platform and integrate it into an omnichannel or that the costs associated with online sale are surprisingly high. For example, British only retailer ASOS has experienced underwhelming profits since its launch in 2000, despite being an extremely well-marketed brand. Expenses associated with logistics and return can quickly balloon. However, Myer's strategic partnership with Australia Post should guarantee control costs and quickly deliver to customers who shop through Myer online channel. Click and collect order grew to account for 17% of Myer sales in 2019. A crucial element of the omnichannel continuously growing this figure will be essential to the success of the Myer. Despite purchasing their product online, click and collect customers still must come to a Myer store to pick up their item. By using this sales channel, bolster foot traffic, Myer can retrospectively build its brick and mortar channel by instilling impulse purchase from the customer. A modern and attractive store layout together with a good consumer service will ensure that customers feel good when shopping with Myer, which will then further develop customer loyalty. Knowing that they can return an online order in person, we also elevate the hassle and expenses associated with posting package back to Myer. By having a consistent customer experience across its website, installed with Myer One integrated all around, customer loyalty and retention should be enhanced across all part of the omnichannel. In essence, a shopping Myer needs to be an experience that will encourage people to keep returning. Conclusion: a rethink of Myer market positioning strategy would be essential to both their short-term and long-term success. Trying to appease consumer from all financial demographics simply has not worked as a social and financial driver behind Australian consumer has dramatically changed over the last 10 years. A clear strategic focus via a trade-up market positioning strategy should be at the forefront of any future plan for Myer as an Australian retailer in urgent need for a strategic rehaul. Competition in the market will only further grow as Australians wanting to access overseas brands, and the latest trend continues to increase. Providing a consistent and integrated products for both online and clientele and in-store customer via omnichannel will also ensure that Myer can work to increase brand loyalty and overall customer retention. By utilizing exclusive partnership with manufacturer, Myer can establish a point of difference within the sales channel compared to its competitor. Its new partnership with Australia Post can also ensure that delivery wait time are low and in line with the company's dedication to offering an upmarket customer experience. In terms of customer reach and attractiveness, Myer various integrated sales channel will have to once again be strong enough to entice customer give their store another chance. Might need to forget about appealing to budget conscious consumer, as they are already well accounted for in Australia through Myer fast fashion competitors. What might need to do is make itself a desirable location for people to be, to the same as it was 20 years ago, by rediscovering its brand prestige and utilizing e-commerce channel to support the notion of the practically that was one associated with the department stores before the age of the internet. Myer may find that it still have a very relevant role to satisfy within the Australia retail industry. Thank you for watching our presentation and goodbye.